Good morning, Saturday morning, day 6 I think it is. So today I'm basically going to try and restock these boxes with all of the stuff that came out of the camper van. What a mission. And then I've already cleaned up the shop today, so I'm going to be building the table and 3 sets of cupboards whilst my beer shop is open Saturday. And trying to keep it a little bit tidy in here, which it is already. It's fine now. So yeah, building that today, filling these boxes, cleaning up inside here. Hopefully by afternoon I'll have figured out the cupboards and the table situation, but worst case I'll fit those in tomorrow. We'll see how that works. All right. Cheers. Oh yeah, I've just I'll tell you about that later. It's too early. Cheers. Oops, first slight error this morning. Just trying to fit a few things back in, and I took the table out from up here because I'd actually like to see if I could fit the chairs up there. And I did my knuckle, my workman's hands, so now I've got blood on the fucking roof. Hopefully it's going to come off. Oh no, another bit there as well. Yeah, that's a bit of a bugger. Porous wood. Well, I'll have to work at that. Blood in the wagon. Well, that's more or less done. So that's just basically the boxes separated. So we've got set up and electrics here with the toilet stuff, and yeah, I always take my fishing rod and the golf club, a few golf balls, chip it around the place. Vacuum, carpets, electric setup. Most of this one, cups and plates and knives and forks and glasses, and I mean they're plastic, they're not glasses, but they're very nice. And they'll be going into the new drawers. Beach and games. The Waspinator, you just hang that up and wasps think it's a hive and bugger off. Cool bags, some backpacks, badminton, the ball, the candles, the outdoor table lights, all very essential. This is a bits and bobs one, so they came out of the cupboards, so they'll either fit back in the drawers, those little nice separate box things, or they'll not get put back in. And then final one is that's my electric grill. I've decided to not take, well, I'll show you the other box I'm not taking. So there's a gas burner there as well, little fella just to boil your water for to cook your pasta on. I mean, and there's your kettle. That space is for the coffee machine, and these things didn't make the cut, so there's some tent pegs that I don't really use. There's this massive awning tie down thing that we don't use either, because if it's windy we don't put the awning out, so I don't need the pegs to peg that. Don't use those. The old saucepans, the electric point that plugs into the side of the truck, which we don't have one of those anymore, and the hose pipe, so we can just fill up from the taps. So those things didn't make the cut. So essentially I've got to get all of that back into the van, but it's all in boxes, so it's super easy. So I can always put that in the storeroom when we're not camping, and I don't even have to have them in the camper, but we shall see. First job done. That's the table size. I've left gaps in these to ensure that the cushions fit with what we've got. So then, yeah, just to make sure the cushions fit basically, which means I've lost a little bit of space, but the steps fold up and still fit down this side, and I'll have it a fraction away from the wall, so the awning pole will sit where it is there. It's actually hung up. I found that switch yesterday. It's for these LED light strips up here, and I thought it was a remote control that I'd lost, but I've stuck this controller on here so you can have disco and all sorts of nice stuff. But yeah, the awning pole hangs on there, and So I'm going to build the first cupboard actually in here, so that I don't have to carry the completed unit into here. So I'm in work mode, so I've got a little bit more space, but I'm going to take this tabletop out until, well, I'll chuck it in the back there, until I've built the cabinets, because I want to see what one cabinet looks like here, and then there's going to be the two underneath the table there. It's going to kill a lot of space, you know, if it means that then, you know, we've only got this little bit, but it might conveniently cover up that thing there. 36 wide. Always good to know how big your thumb to finger is. Mine's 21 centimeters, so that's 40 to there. So if I put a cupboard here, it's going to come out to there, and I'll lose a bit at the door, but you can never come in by this side anyway, so it's probably fine. But I'm going to see what that looks like in a minute when I've built the first cabinet. It doesn't look as daunting as I thought. They're basically dowel things, and yeah, so it shouldn't take too long to build the first cabinet, and then I can just get one in here and see visually where they're gonna go. I might end up with the three of them under the table. We shall see. They've got little little foam pads to put on the bottom to, you know, cushion the wood against the floor, but I've got this matting here, and my worry with these drawers is that they're going to be so good that they'll just slide out all the time, and I'll have to figure out some sort of mechanism to latch them shut. But if I only put on the two feet stands, they're about an inch, not even an inch, probably 3/4 of an inch, 1 and 1 on the cabinets, and not any on the back, then it will be slightly sloped towards the walls, and that should keep the drawers shut. We shall see. Ready, steady, go! My first impression is I like them, but actually they are quite a bit darker than I thought. But on the video it looks quite a lot lighter than it is in real life. They're actually very black, but now the back of these seats are black. It looks quite different. But when I'm looking at my naked eye, it looks just almost exactly the same colour as that back bit. But I said build it on a carpet, and this is the only nice carpet I got. So here we go. First box done. So this is the nice side up. So that will actually be like this one if I put another one here. It kind of makes the sofa look alright. There'll be 5 drawers. And then 2 more of those. It's actually got holes on the other side of it, so you can put the tabletop on. So I checked the tabletop. It's all right. It's not too bad. Very light, so that's going to go across between 2 of these, and then the third one could either go in the middle or here. I'm inclined to leave this one clear, just to, you know, leave volume and passage and everything, rather than blocking it off. So I think I'm probably going to put 3 in a row, which will just leave room for the one of these boxes with the porta potty in it underneath the table. And then I've got some cut off bits of that to put on top of the porta potty to hide it. Yeah, bloody hot in here, although it's a lot cooler than it would be without the lovely new insulation. But I've got a nice through breeze, got the new tunes on. Just time for a coffee, I think, now. That's my solar anti-animal thing. Getting a really annoying thing that actually came and bit my aerial, running over the top of my car. A marder, I think that it probably is. Unbelievable. Little bugger. So yeah, I'm trying to frighten him off with this, and actually got a full trap out for him as well at the moment. But he's not liking that egg. Maybe it's just enough to deter him anyway. But yeah, very pleased with that. First build, it only took about half an hour once I just figured out the up is down, down is up. That's actually upside down now because of this nice bit. This is going to be underneath the cupboard. It's bigger drawers at the bottom. So I just wanted to see what the top looked like as well. There is a consideration to not put the tabletop on and put 2 of these that way round. another one with the drawers facing each other, and that piece of paper would be where they would meet. So you could just, let me turn that. Lenny's right in my ear. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot the music was on. And so I could put another one there, which would obviously leave more space out here, and it almost matches up to the closed situation on these, which, let's just see what that looks like when it's down. You see, that is actually better. That is actually better. And it's not a disagreeable side edge either. And just have the two drawers facing each other like that, because you've got a workspace here. Yeah, that's 60 by 40. So you'd have another 60 by 40 here. So you could potentially have those facing each other. But I think I'm going to have a coffee and ponder that. There's the shell. Practically zero room that end when I lay the cushions, which are 66, out longer, so that they don't get wrinkled up, so they sit pretty. But I found that at this end I do have space, so I've got the two chairs in here and the two levelling blocks. Those are these things you drive up onto, they sit really easy there. Or if I didn't have those there, my golf clubs, or the two sets of golf clubs, would fit in the back here, so that's good news. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I think I'm just going to stick with two at the moment. I've got a third set of these, but if I do put that third set in the middle there won't be enough room for the porta potty. The porta potty is 40 wide, so 20, 40, so it leaves a little bit of space there. So I'm gonna leave it for the moment, because I don't really want to block this corner here as well, because it kind of would just really close up everything if there was another one of these black things here. So I'm going to build the drawers on that and see how it looks, and see how deep and how much storage we've got in there. But I'm very tempted to leave this space here, and it means then I can just push this up to the grill and then fix it down, leaving, you know, plenty of space on this side. There'll be another little gap here, or not. I mean, it's so heavy, it's not going to move anywhere. As you know, it's against the grill, so you know the worst thing is going to happen is, I fear that if there was a big sort of, you know, push this way, then this table would snap in the middle, because it's actually quite a light thing. So you know that it's never going to come this way. These are actually, they're 28 kilos each. I found out, it says on the box this morning, I saw that. So they're practically 30 kilos each. So that table weighs 60 plus the top, 62 or 3 kilos. So it ain't going nowhere if it's married up or just touching the grill here, or even if it slides that first little bit, it's still not crucial. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to build the drawers now and do that inside, because it's the heat of the day now, 2:30, and it is bloody hot. So yeah, that's a good start to the day. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm standing outside, I'm definitely not going to put another one here for the moment, because it was just going to cramp up the whole nice space. And the whole thing about this van, or the last van, you couldn't really walk past each other in it, because it was, you know, quite full piece of kit. And so this, you know, I want to have space, and so if I stick in another storage cupboard, which we can always pop in when we just go if we decide that we want to. So I'm not going to build that right now, but I've got a beer customer, so I've got to go. One down, 9 to go. All pretty easy once you get the instructions read. Here we are, the big reveal. Saturday afternoon. Dun, dun. Desk is in. Everything's in. Thing around here. So yeah, I managed to fit the chairs in behind the thing. Leveling blocks. and El Descaruni. So I'm pretty pleased with it. It just happens that these have got the same door handles as that. Well, obviously not happens, I chose them because of that, really. But my main worry was that these would be too slidey, and luckily they're not good enough quality to be super slidey. So they'll stay closed for sure, especially when they've got a bit of stuff in. So I don't need to put on those extra little feet this end to tip the thing up. So the porta potty fits under the thing. I just threw that on now just to, add a little bit of just one of the offcuts that I had from yesterday. And I could always do it that way, I suppose. Put it in the actually that's a much better idea. Put it in there and it blocks it totally. But you can just sort of pull that out, and behind you've got all the extra toilet roll, kitchen roll, cleaning stuff, doodly doo. You know, a loo with a view, no less. So if I can push the toilet back a little bit, which I can't because of the blue, I'd have to reorganise that to get that down the front, which would be ideal, having that across the front inside the box so that it sits like that. And you just pull that out and then do your necessaire. So yeah, that's really cool. Pleased with that. It means I've got a little bit of space here for something. Maybe the chairs will fit there, because really that's where the golf clubs are going to go at the back there. Have a quick Scooby-Doo. I mean, they stick out a little bit, but I think they're too high to go in that way. Maybe. Yeah, you could probably put them in that way as well. But that's for tomorrow. So my tomorrow's job is to pack as much as I can back in. So knives and forks, plates and something, bowls, saucepans, and then Fab's can have all of that for her clothes. And I'll just have a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, which is all I ever wear normally when we're on holiday. Take 10 t-shirts and use one or two. So yeah, I added a few of the little mirrors that I found around in the house, a little lavender bag. The two tables are up there. The power machine, the green monster, is in here. The decking in the cab, the hippie bus, flowers, Fab's this side, and at the moment my trolley goes there, but those grey boxes, however many we need to take with us, can kind of stack there while we're driving, so they can't, go anywhere. And then as soon as we get to where we're going, the grill will come out. The boxes, just the three boxes, just go outside under the awning. You can get your kettle out and the coffee machine. I'll be running a wire around here down to the back of there where the 240 plugs are. And currently I've got these wind deflectors on the window, so you can leave the window open a little bit and run the campsite cable through the window there. And I'll plug in to shore electricity with a Rollo to here, and then a power cord that comes up to here with a 5 or 6 plug on it, and then you can plug all the coffee machines and kettle and things like that in on here. And then when you want to move, you just throw everything back in the box, which is the same as throwing it in a drawer really, and you're good to rock and roll. So yeah, there we go, folks. That's my 6 days of building, and I have to say I'm absolutely stoked with it. I think it's a massive improvement. I'm so happy that I mean all of this can come out in 10 seconds, and I've still got the whole van to do work in if needs be. Well, obviously needs be, but if I need bigger than that space there, which I rarely do, to be honest. That's more or less, if I'm delivering 10, 20 cases of beer, or 10 kegs of beer, that fits there easily. So yeah, it just now needs personalising and pimping, and see if I can get away with the carpet. I jolly well hope so, because I do love it. I think it really just sets everything off, making it a bit fun. Just putting down a grey carpet or something might just, be just a bit too glum when you're on holiday. So thanks for watching. I'll update my last day 7 tomorrow when I've put some stuff in, and I'm going to make it into camper ready mode so that I can show Fabs how it would be to literally just drive off as soon as we could drive off with what I'm going to put in it tomorrow, basically, just to try that, to get a full camping experience load. So you'll see that as well. Cheers, have a great Saturday, and got the old pale ale out today. It's bloody hot today, so I'm really happy to have a nice cold beer after finishing the mission. So there we go. Cheers. And in other news, I sold a lot of beer today. Cheers.